There we go. Looks like we are live, folks. How are you all doing this evening? Great on this great Friday, getting ready for a good weekend, I hope. I'll tell you, it's been a busy day for me today. Anyway, if you are coming to us live, we would love it if you give us hashtag live down there in the comments. And if you're coming to us on replay, we'd love hashtag replay. I can't speak this evening. And let me know where you're coming from. I always like to know where folks are coming from. Uh, Drop any questions you got in the chat. We'll try and answer them for you. If not, I'll get back to you. And of course, if you are seeing us on YouTube, um, give us a like and a subscribe there on YouTube. You'll find us at Smiling Stew over there. All righty. So anyway, also, if you're not seeing us in the group, go ahead and join us on the Home Business Freedom Facebook group. You'll find that under Home Business Freedom under the Facebook groups, or you can find that under smilingstew.com/group. Made a nice, easy one for you so you can get right to it. All right, folks. Well, I am Smiling Stu Sutherland. I am a freedom crusader. I give people the knowledge and tools to build freedom by working from home. And we've been having a conversation this week about persistence, and I wanted to kind of finish that up, give you some food to think about, or some food for thought, something to think about over the weekend, and see if it doesn't help you out a little bit. So tonight we're going to talk about symptoms of lack of persistence. So in other words, what causes a lack of persistence? Because we've already identified, if you want to be successful, you've got to have persistence. So if you have a lack of persistence, obviously that's going to make it difficult to be successful. So let's go take a look at some of these. Again, this is from Napoleon Hill's. Well, where's it at? There it is. I don't know. For some reason, it's taking a minute for the screen shares to come up these days. I'm not sure why. Anyway, this is from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Again, this is one of the books that we study in our mastermind in the mornings. Right now, we're studying The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Also a fantastic book. These are dealing with principles that are just basically unchangeable. I mean, they're principles that are very important if you want to be successful in any business, much less home business. All right. So anyways, let's talk about the symptoms of lack of persistence. Well, here you will find the real enemies which stand between you and noteworthy achievement. Here you will find not only the symptoms indicating weakness of persistence, but also the deeply seated subconscious causes of this weakness. Study the list carefully and face yourself squarely. If you really wish to know who you are and what you are capable of doing, these are the weaknesses which must be mastered by all who accumulate riches. So if you want to make any kind of money in life, folks, you've got to be able to master these. So they are: first, a failure to recognize and clearly define exactly what one wants. So in other words, how can you be successful in getting the things you want if you don't have a clearly defined mental image or mental picture of what that is? Or what we might call in the Freedom Crusaders group, a major definite purpose. All right. If you don't have a major definite purpose, you don't have a clearly defined goal. How can you reach that goal? How can you know if you've reached your goals? So procrastination, with or without cause, usually backed up with formidable array of alibis and excuses. That's right, folks. I don't know if you guys saw, let me just bring up real quick. That's not actually where I want to go. I'm going to show you something I posted the other day, just real quick. This just came to mind. And let me just find it here. There it is. I just posted this the other day. I think it's appropriate at the moment. So I refuse to go to my grave with a list of excuses why I didn't try. So that's kind of my feeling of it. I'm not going to go to my grave with a bunch of excuses for my procrastination. So procrastination will kill you. Lack of interest in acquiring specialized knowledge. Well, if attaining your goals requires a specialized knowledge to get there, you have to attain it. If you want to be a plumber, you have to attain the specialized knowledge of being a plumber. If you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be a plumber. So, and the same goes for everything. It doesn't matter what line of work you're in. Indecision, the habit of passing the buck on all occasions instead of facing issues squarely. Also backed by alibis, folks. Some more excuses we've got here. Number 5, the habit of relying upon alibis instead of creating definite plans for the solution of your problems. So, in other words, you make a bunch of excuses for your problem, but you don't do anything to fix the problem. So, once again, more excuses. That seems to be a trend going through this, doesn't it? All right. Number 6, self-satisfaction. There is but little remedy for this affliction and no hope for those who suffer from it. So if you're too busy out worrying about self-satisfaction instead of doing the things you need to do, it's going to cause to not have the persistence you need. You're out busy doing your own thing and not worrying about the persistence. Spending too much time watching Netflix. Uh, Indifference, usually reflected in one's readiness to compromise on all occasions rather than meet opposition and fight it. So in other words, you're indifferent. If the business works, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Well, if that's your attitude, your business or whatever you're pursuing in life isn't going to happen. The habit of blaming others for one's mistakes and accepting unfavorable circumstances as being unavoidable. All right. Well, that's the old Murphy's Law thing. And I spent a whole career fighting Murphy's Law. Anything can go wrong and will go wrong at the worst possible moment. But if your habit is to blame others for that, no, that's just Murphy. Well, then you're just going to have all kinds of problems. You've got to figure out how to fix the problems. Weakness of desire due to neglect in the choice of motives that impel action. So, in other words, you don't have enough desire to seek your goals or to seek your dreams or to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish in business. So, weakness of desire, well, if you don't desire it, you're definitely not going to get it. Willingness, even eagerness to quit at the first sign of defeat based upon one or more of the 6 basic fears, which is a different part of the book. But willingness, even eagerness to quit at the first sign of defeat. Now, I've seen people who give up on trying to learn affiliate marketing because they can't log into a website rather than trying to get a hold of support or something like that, or get a password change, whatever. They just up and quit because they had trouble getting the website. Oh, this is too hard. It doesn't work. All right. So, a lack of organized plans placed in writing where they may be analyzed. So, in other words, if you've got a goal to get somewhere, you've got to at least write something down to shoot for. You've got to analyze where you're at on that goal. Now, you may need to adjust a goal, but you need to have some kind of written goal or you won't accomplish anything. All right. The habit of neglecting to move on ideas or grasping opportunity when it presents itself. So, hey, when opportunity comes, you've got to be willing to at least look at it. And if it is, in fact, opportunity, you got to be willing to grab it. And sometimes that means getting a little uncomfortable. Sometimes it means doing some things that aren't your favorite thing for a little bit to get where you want to be. But again, that's the thing. If you're neglecting to move the ideas or grasp the opportunity, you'll never move forward. Number 13, wishing instead of willing. Oh, I wish my business was doing better. I wish my business was really thriving, all kinds of things in life you can wish for, but wishing is not going to get you there. Willing it and working towards it will. All right. The habit of compromising with poverty instead of aiming at riches. General absence of ambition to be, to do, and to own. So in other words, don't want to be really anything. You can't see anything you want to be. You don't really want to do anything. You just want to sit around and watch Netflix all day. Maybe you go to a job for a few hours and you make a little money to get by. But if you don't have the persistence to do more, then that's where you're going to be. In 10 years, you're still going to be sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Maybe you'll make $1 or $2 more in raise, but that's where you're going to be if you don't have persistence and a willingness to change that. And a habit of compromising for poverty. You just assume, well, I can't do any better. I can't rise any higher. I just need to work with what I've got. Folks, set your sights higher and move forward. All right. Number 15, searching for all the shortcuts to riches, trying to get without giving. The fair equivalent, usually reflected in the habit of gambling, endeavoring to drive sharp bargains. So there's something for nothing, folks. You'd rather go out and place $10 on the lottery and see if you can win $1 billion when the odds of doing it are next to nothing, instead of actually doing something. So you expect something for nothing. You want to get some online business that's going to work for you, but you expect just to turn on your computer and have the money flow in without any work, without any effort. And that goes for any business. Fear of criticism, failure to create plans and put them into action because of what other people will think, do, or say. This enemy belongs at the head of the list because it generally exists in one's subconscious mind where its presence is not recognized. All right. So in other words, you're too willing or too worried about somebody else's criticism. Oh, you don't want to try and start a business for yourself. You'll probably fail. Negative input like that, often from family members, can absolutely destroy your persistence. All right. So that's number 16. And that's the big one, folks. That's the end of it. So, really want to have you just think about that list. You can go back and watch the video and get it. Or the list starts on 276 of the Grow Rich Mastermind edition, which is free if you want it. I'll show you where to get it. It's right here. You go to this. And anyway, it's going to bring you in here. You can go in and put an email in, and it'll bring you to this. It'll give you an email or e-copies of all these books, ebook copies of Think and Grow Rich, also The Science of Getting Rich, which we're reading right now, The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Also, hey, look right here. You can get a major definite purpose and start writing out your goals and figuring out what they should be. It's a little worksheet to help you figure out your goals for yourself. So that's in there. So feel free to jump in and get that. It's available for you again for free. So think about that, the reasons for your lack of persistence. And you can get that again at smilingstew.com/collection. You can also get it in my link, smilingstew.com/link. So whatever's easier to remember, just go on in there, search for the Mastermind Collection. I think it's about halfway down the list. So anyway, go ahead and check that out. Think about that over the weekend, folks. I think it'll set your head looking in a more direct path. Oh, by the way, did you notice I've got the Grand Canyon behind me? We'll talk about an example of persistence. The Grand Canyon was formed due to the persistence of a river that refused to stop flowing. So there it is, folks. Figure out why you have a lack of persistence and take care of it. Hope you're all going to have a fantastic weekend. We will talk to you Monday. And over the weekend, smile at everyone you see. It'll improve their day, and I'll guarantee it'll improve yours too. Have a great weekend, folks. Smile and Stew out. Take care.